What is up, everybody? You are checking out the PGHChris TV show. You are checking out the PGHChris show, excuse me, here on PGHChris TV. I am PGHChris. Today, we're going to get into a little bit of news over the past couple of days that's been going on in football specifically. That's mainly what I want to talk about, but I do want to talk about a couple other things. Obviously, the Suns are still playing decent basketball, which we'll talk about. And I'll make an announcement, something that this weekend that I might do, and I'll talk about that later. Um, the Steelers are making moves at the coordinator spots and position coaching. Get into that a little bit, but I will preview a little bit of AEW Dynamite. The main story, the main topic of this show is Robert Kraft missing the first ballot Hall of Fame just weeks after Bill Belichick. Sounds like something's fishy. Is Tom Brady next? Could they take people's Hall of Fame inductions out? I'll get to reasons why on who it could be. We'll talk about that. But before we get into the video, you guys know our sponsor, DUBBY Energy. Join the DUBBY movement and be better. Use my promo code at PGHChris to save 10% off. And here is another word from me talking about DUBBY Energy. All right, guys, before we get into the rest of the video, I want to talk to you guys about our sponsor, DUBBY Energy. If you're tired of weak energy drinks loaded with sugar and garbage, DUBBY Energy is the move. Zero sugar, no crash outs, and when I'm locked in, whether I'm breaking down Pittsburgh Steelers football, talking pro wrestling, or grinding here on the late night content, this supplement hits smooth, tastes fire, and it actually keeps you focused, and it does not give you those jittery motions that you would get with normal energy drinks. If you want to try it for yourself, I got you covered. Use promo code PGHChris at checkout to get 10% off your order. That is PGHChris at checkout for 10% off. Support the channel and fuel up the right way. Join the W movement and be better. Now, let's get back to the show. All right, guys, let's preview a little bit of AEW Dynamite before I get into really what it is I want to talk about and a couple other things. But let's get the bullshit out of the way first. AEW Dynamite tonight. They're in I have no idea where the hell they're at tonight actually. I have no clue, but they're alive tonight. I'm not going to go over anything. I'm just going to tell you the one thing that I care about. It's obviously the MJF and Brody King match. Look, I know Brody King's not going to win it. We know Brody King's not going to win it. I'm not going to go into full detail here. I just don't understand eliminator matches. Why the fuck is the world champion involved in an eliminator match? Please tell me how that makes sense. I hate that shit. I hate when AEW does that because they did that a lot when Toni Storm was the women's champion. I mean, stop doing an eliminators match with your world champion in it. I don't understand the whole concept of an eliminators match anyway. I think it's stupid. Um, but tonight we are getting. Oh, they're in Vegas. Okay, that's where they are. They're in Vegas. But the winner, Andrade versus Kenny Omega. That's also going to be a match that on the card that's pretty good. The winner will go on to have a AEW World Title match at Revolution. Um, so I think Kenny would be my pick. That's AEW's first pay per view of the year. I think you want to start out hot. I think you want to start out, with people watching, your show, your product, and I think the first pay per view would be great to have Omega versus MJF. I mean, there's no question about it. You know, I obviously think MJF should win. I'm not at all advocating for Kenny Omega to win the match, but I do think there should be a, you know, a reason to make us believe that Kenny Omega does have a chance. And I think they could do that here. So we'll see what happens with that. I do think Kenny gets the victory over Andrade, and Kenny goes on to fight MJF at um Revolution in March. So we'll see where that goes. I don't think there's really anything else. I don't care about Hangman Page and Mark Davis. I don't care about Jungle Boy and Ricochet, and I don't care about anything else really on the show. Before I get into really anything else, the main spicy topics, anything like that, Tony Khan has been on an interview um tour. He's been on a media tour the last couple of days here, and he sounds the same. I mean, there's no real way to put it, man. He sounds the same. He always has that fucking mug in his hand. Uh, so Dynamite tonight. I don't care about it. Maybe I'll watch it. Maybe I won't. Um, but in other football, let's get to the football. So before we get into Patriots news, Robert Kraft, any of that stuff, as a Pittsburgh football fan, somebody who loves the rich history of the city, somebody who loves the city to death. I mean, I named my whole fucking brand PGH Chris. So, I mean, that shows you guys how much I love Pittsburgh. So, my point is NFL Films announced that they are doing a kind of, film. NFL Films are doing a film narrated by Pat McAfee documenting the town of Pittsburgh football. I don't specifically think that's just limited to Pittsburgh Steelers football, excuse me. I think they're going to give us a little bit of rich history about obviously the Steelers, but I don't think this is just a full Steelers documentary. I cannot show you guys the trailer or parts of it because I'm not getting copyrighted, but it does look pretty cool. They do show clips of Pitt football. It's really obviously Steelers football heavy, and they do show some youth football, maybe some high school football. So I think the point of this film isn't to just put out a whole, documentary on the Steelers because there's so many of that. I think this is a documentary to showcase how not just Pittsburgh, but the entire Western Pennsylvania gets down in football. I think Western Pennsylvania is severely underrated when it comes to high school football. Hell, I would know all about that. Um, you know, I do think it is something to be interested in, and especially with Pat McAfee narrating the show. I mean, he is a Yinzer, right? He is a Pittsburgher. I mean, there's no reason why I don't think the show's not going to be, or the documentary is not going to be good. I think it's going to be fucking great, and it's going to showcase youth football. What youth football also means to Western Pennsylvania. It's going to show obviously what the Steelers mean to Pittsburgh and Western Pennsylvania, and it's going to show some Pitt football in there and show some high school. And I think it's just a celebration of Pittsburgh football. That city it's a football city. Football is the only thing that we have to look forward to. I mean, the Pirates are never going to be good, which I am going to talk a little bit about in this video. Actually, I will talk about them as soon as I'm done talking about this. But I do think the film's going to be great. Like I said, narrated by Pat, should be good. Maybe they show us some documentary of every little thing, right? We get some Pitt football documentary, we get some youth football, some high school, and obviously topped off with some Steelers. So I think it's going to be good, man. I think it's going to be good. So I'm looking forward to that. It will air, I believe, this March. No, April. No. Um, damn it. February 28th, and it will be available at the theater here. Okay, so I'm looking at it right now. It will be available on Saturday, February 28th at the Kidman Science Center in Pittsburgh. So, there will be some appearances. Um, Bill Cowher, obviously legendary coach. Jerome Bettis, Joey Sr., James Harrison, few others. McAfee's the narrator. So I'm curious to see how that goes, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a pretty good one. But shifting over to Pittsburgh Pirates baseball. Speaking of Pittsburgh sports, look, I'm not expecting the Pirates to be good at all. I mean, we suck. It's embarrassing being a Pirates fan in 2026. Nobody seems to care. I mean, the fans don't care. The last time I seen that stadium packed with people in it was when McCutchen came back in his first game back as a Pirate in forever. I mean, I don't think the Pirates are going to have a good year. I don't think they're going to have a good year. I think they're going to shit the bed. I think they're going to disappoint like they always do. And Skeens is the only thing to look forward to in Pittsburgh baseball. So good luck. I'm gonna leave the Pirates baseball reporting to everyone else. I don't have time for it. I don't care. I do go to the Pirates games once a year when they're in Philly because it's closer. So good luck to the Pirates, but I have no faith. I have no faith, and we got to get our pitching up, which we're reportedly, aggressively trying to sign Framer Valdez, left-handed pitcher from the Astros. So we'll see how that goes. Let's talk about what I really wanted to talk about. But before we get into that, one more thing I want to talk about. Saturday, I may or may not do the Suns play-by-play against the Sixers because I do have the local Sixers channel, so I am able to watch the games. So keep an eye out Saturday afternoon, and we will possibly be here for the play-by-play for the Phoenix Suns. So check out for that. Be on the lookout for that. Before we talk about what I really came here to talk about, and we're really, really going to try to dive into it, one more word from our sponsor, DUBBY Energy. All right, guys, before we get into the rest of the video, I want to talk to you guys about our sponsor, DUBBY Energy. If you're tired of weak energy drinks loaded with sugar and garbage, DUBBY Energy is the move. Zero sugar, no crash outs, and when I'm locked in, whether I'm breaking down Pittsburgh Steelers football, talking pro wrestling, or grinding here on the late night content, this supplement hits smooth, tastes fire, and it actually keeps you focused, and it does not give you those jittery motions that you would get with normal energy drinks. If you want to try it for yourself, I got you covered. Use promo code PGHCHRIS at checkout to get 10% off your order. That is PGHCHRIS at checkout for 10% off. Support the channel and fuel up the right way. Join the DUBBY movement and be better. Now, let's get back to the show. I'm going to show you guys this article. I'm going to pull it up on my screen, and you guys are going to read exactly what it is I'm reading. So it was announced a couple days ago, February 3rd, yesterday, that this article was published by ESPN's Adam Schefter. New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft, like his former head coach Bill Belichick, was not selected for entry into this year's Pro Football Hall of Fame. Kraft, a first-time Hall of Fame ballot or Hall of Fame finalist this year, did not receive enough votes from the 50-person selection committee. Again, who the fuck is this 50-person selection committee? Let me read into the whole article before I talk about that. Which will, mind you, the class will be announced Thursday night at the NFL Honors in San Francisco. Tomorrow night before at the Honors, it'll be announced the class. And Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick both will not be in as first ballots. Just wanted to put that out there. Interesting enough, the Hall of Fame's new voting requirements in 2025 helped pit Kraft against Belichick. Kraft was one of 5 finalists among contributors, coaches, and senior players who appeared in a game in 2000 or earlier. Kraft was the contributing finalist, and Belichick was the coach, with Roger, Craig, Ken Anderson, and L.C. Greenwood the players. The 50 voters each pick 3 of the 5 finalists, and between 1 to 3 make it if they get at least 40 votes. If no candidate gets 40 votes, the top vote getter will be elected. A new rule made coaches eligible 1 year after retiring instead of 5. Between 1 and 3, those finalists will be inducted into the hall along with between 3 and 5 modern era players from the 15 finalists. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a bunch of bullshit. That is a bunch of bullshit. I don't know what this selection committee is. I think they're just utterly ridiculous. I'm going to tell you why. At this point, and you might already know where I'm going with this. I mean, it's in the title. But I'm going to tell you guys this. I officially believe that this is a way, not a way to get Tom Brady not to get a first ballot Hall of Fame, but this confirmed that Tom Brady won't be getting into the Hall of Fame as a first ballot entry. To not have Robert Kraft, he's probably the best owner in football history. He has 11. This Super Bowl appearance this Sunday will be his 11th appearance. He's won 6 Super Bowls. He bought the team in 1994. I mean, is that those 3 things right there not tell you greatness? He's been to 11 Super Bowls and has won 6. That's half. I mean, that's almost half. Why would you not have him in the Hall of Fame as a first ballot entry? If he wins the Super Bowl this Sunday, if the Patriots win the Super Bowl, this is going to make the Hall of Fame committee and the Hall of Fame look even more useless and even more fucking utterly ridiculous. Belichick, again, say what you want about Bill Belichick. Oh, he cheated. He needed Tom Brady. Look, I am a Steelers fan. I know what it feels like to go against Tom Brady in big situation moments. Jesse James caught the fucking ball. And I'm going to say it with my fucking chest forever. Forever. Forever, forever, forever. Jesse James caught that fucking ball against the Patriots. So I know what it feels like. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Bill Belichick shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame either. Because he won 2 Super Bowls as a coordinator with the New York Giants. I mean, resume, people. He had the resume as a coordinator, 2-time Super Bowl champion, before he took over as a New England Patriots head coaching job. This is all to get back at Tom Brady. He is a 7-time Super Bowl champion. And he's probably not going to be in the first ballot Hall of Fame. Why could they possibly be getting back at Tom Brady? Does Tom Brady have some enemies in the NFL business side of things? Probably. Why? Well, a few things. He has a massive contract from Fox, being in the color commentary for the afternoon games. He's probably making more money as being the golden boy for Fox than he probably has made being an active quarterback. He's also a primary owner. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's a owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. And I know a lot of people have problems with Tom Brady commentating other teams' games while he's actively owning a franchise, while he's scouting, Heisman players like Fernando Mendoza at the national championship. He is going to make decisions for that franchise, whether people think of it or not. I mean, there's no way that the Las Vegas Raiders draft Fernando Mendoza and Tom Brady, you're going to tell me Tom Brady has nothing to do with that. Tom Brady is going to have everything to do with who his hire is. So it is important that we know that. So those are 2 things right there that I feel like a lot of people in the NFL could have against Tom Brady. And correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Randy Moss play for the New England Patriots? Correct me if I'm wrong. Is Randy Moss in the Hall of Fame? What are you gonna do? Take his Hall of Fame away? He was a part of that Patriots team when they what is it, when they lost in the Super Bowl? What was it, 2006? 7? Look, I might not remember the specific year. But my point is we know Randy Moss is a big part of Tom Brady's early career. With winning career with the Patriots. What about Gronkowski when he's eligible? You gonna keep him out? You're gonna keep out one of the best tight ends of his time? He's not gonna be a first ballot? I mean, what are we doing? Look, I hate the Patriots. I'm gonna stress this to you guys as much as I can. The Patriots, I can't stand. But I'm not gonna sit here and tell you guys that Kraft, Belichick, Gronkowski, Tom fucking Brady shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. That's just ridiculous, man. I will not go that far. Okay? You can say what you want about the cheating and the all that stuff, which I mean I don't condone. Obviously, I hate that shit just as much as probably anybody else. The Flakegate, all that stuff. But again, we got to be realistic. We have to be honest with ourselves. We need to really look at what's going on here. If I'm Tom Brady, what am I thinking? That's just my honest question. If I'm Tom Brady right now, I got to be thinking, "Holy shit, I'm not going to be in the Hall of Fame." I mean, that's crazy to me, chat. I don't know about you guys, but that's ridiculous. It should not happen. And, Robert Kraft will not be a first ballot Hall of Famer, all because of a committee. We need to investigate this committee because I don't think they're doing good for the Football Hall of Fame, because they're gonna make that Football Hall of Fame mean nothing, and they're already on the verge of that. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the stream tonight. I appreciate you guys for being here. For a good 30 minutes. Thank you guys. Check out Sports Jedi Network, Sports Jedi Media on all platforms, all socials. Subscribe, follow. Guys, I'm not asking for subscriptions on the Twitch or the Kick. I just need you guys to follow. Hit the follow button if you're watching on the Kick. That's all I ask, and I appreciate you guys being here, and we'll see you guys.